Okay, so as I was saying earlier, I don't know if everybody was in here, that support and resistance in the spiders, the way I analyze it, has moved up. So we have the 50-day moving average at 209.86, a huge strike puts at 210, which is real strong support. It's been moving up. It was 205, then it was 207. Now it's up at 210. I'm seeing resistance at 212.50. If we can get through that, we can actually get to new highs. I was looking at 215 where I kept saying, oh, we could get there. It would pull back from there. That was the ceiling I was seeing with really, really strong resistance. It's kind of waning there. So it's still resistance up there, but it is really a weaker ceiling right now. So this is all, really positive. However, if we break through that 210 and we hold below that, then the market weakens again. But as I said, long term, I'm still biased to the downside. But boy, been making nice money on the upside, and now it's looking a lot more positive. So that's my take on it going forward. We have a huge week of economic numbers, which could push us one way or another. I think we'll see some movement. Economic numbers, I think, are great for volatility in the market, which we want to see. And there's my take for the week.
Okay, I'm actually going to give a little bit different perspective just so we have something.
Great. I think it's great because
not so much to have a healthy argument, but I want to go over the last 4 days of trading. And again, we spent briefly a couple of seconds talking about whether or not you want to get to the exact price. To me, I've been watching this 212 level simply because every time we get up there, we haven't been able to get through there. We basically got above it a little bit and could not hold it. Matter of fact, this is really what I want to point out. The last 4 days, 2 of the last 4 days have been the biggest volume days that we've had in a while, and they happen to be on the downside with really strong closes to the downside. And the weakest volume of those 3 days was an inside day. So I'm seeing it just a little bit differently from the perspective of price action and volume, where bigger down days, 2 out of the last 4, inside day, and the one day we did push higher, we immediately failed again at the 212 level. So I'm not saying we're heading down. I agree with you 100% that the longer term weekly chart, as you can see here, is definitely still higher. What does concern me a little bit is if we weren't at all-time highs, all we'd be talking about is the fact that we're in a 4-month trading range. And I think the fact that we're at all-time highs is blinding people a little bit to feel like there's nothing we can't do except go higher. This is a mess. There's no other way to put it. Yeah, there's no short sellers in the market, and we're not selling off heavy, but I think that we're starting to see signs of distribution where volume to the downside is increasing, and when we don't move, volume is decreasing dramatically, which is a little bit different picture than we saw, let's say, the last year, where every time we sold off dramatically, we had violent pushes back to the upside where we'd sell off hard, and then basically 3 weeks later, we're making new all-time highs. So I'm taking this window into perspective here that I don't see us really with a bias right now, even though the much longer term trend is higher. I see us as sideways, and we're starting to see signs of distribution. So I agree with you. I think this week is going to be exciting to trade. I think there's going to be stuff to trade on both sides of the market. I absolutely believe that this 210 level or area, however you want to word it, is going to be the harbinger of whether or not we're going to hold support and push to new highs, or if we're going to finally fail at this level and start to see some more of these days. So stock specific on both sides of the market, absolutely. And we're going to discuss a lot of those today. But to me, from a bigger picture perspective, what we do around this 210 level is going to tell me whether or not I believe we're going to roll down and then eventually test this 205 and see what happens from there. So I'm looking at it from these last 4 months. And that's, again, that's my perspective as always having been a short-term trader. To me, the universe is, the most recent price action. And I don't see us doing anything other than drifting right now and the fact that we can't get out of here. So these last 2 days on bigger volume mean something to me, especially because of the lower closes. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from there. So there you have it. Ebony and Ivory, one long, one short.
Well, no, not really. I'm still biased to the short side, as I said. However, my technicals are showing, what I look at is showing that we have a stronger possibility of going up. And see, both of them can actually be right, and I think this is what some people get wrong. They think everybody has to be 100% right or 100% wrong, and they can't look at things from different perspectives. We're both looking at it from different perspectives totally, which is great. We're actually both seeing that 210, which I think is really, great when you can notice that people can analyze something and come up with the same conclusion, even though the peripheral around the conclusion is different. The bias is different. So I think it's great to be able to do.